everyone, I'm Tara. This is my 2011 BMW M3 hardtop convertible. Today I'll be installing lowering springs. I did initially hope to install coilovers on this car, but I figured I should just save the money. So I bought Eibach Pro Kit Performance springs. They will lower my car up to 1.5 inches. They will lower the car's center of gravity, reducing body roll around corners. I'll be able to brake quicker and improve gas mileage. So I'm excited. I'm going to go over to my friend's house to use his garage. He's installed springs before and I haven't, so I will need his support.
First, I measured from the center of the wheel to the fender to see how much it lowers. I loosened the wheel bolts and jacked up the car. It was my first time using a quick jack.
Wow.
Take off the wheels and then tape up the front fenders so they don't get damaged. Remove the sway bar and link bolt using a 16mm socket. Unclip the brake lines from the bracket. Remove the shock bolt and nut with a 16mm socket and wrench. If you have a tool like this that my friend made, it helps to stick it in the gap where the shock absorber fits into the hub mount to spread open the clamp. Open the hood and pry off the top mount cap with a flathead and then remove the 3 nuts with a 13mm socket. Use a 10mm socket and wrench to disconnect the height sensor arm, which is on the driver's side only. Swing the whole strut assembly out from under the fender very carefully and then pull it out. Prop up the other components to reduce stress on it and tie it up with something. I bought this coil spring compressor for 20 bucks. Attach it to the spring and compress both sides evenly. Remove the top mount and then you can remove all the pieces. Make sure you keep them in order. That's the new spring on the right. Use the compressor and compress the new spring. Then put all the pieces back together and then attach the top mount. Remove the compressor from the spring, and then it's all ready to go back in. Again, be very careful not to damage your fender, so if you can get a second pair of hands to help you, I recommend it. Line up the screws that fit above using a jack to push them up, and then screw the nuts back on. Screw the shock bolt and nut back on, clip the brake lines onto the bracket and reattach the height sensor arm. Bolt the sway bar and link. And onto the rear. To get the spring out, you have to separate the lower control arm from the wheel hub and strut by removing these bolts. Use an 18mm socket on this one and a 21mm socket on this one. Now the lower control arm can be swung down when the bolts are out. Detach the height sensor. Again, this is only on the driver's side. Pull out the spring by pushing down on the lower control arm. This took quite a lot of strength and it was a struggle. Here's a new spring on the right. You could put it back in exactly how the other one came out by pushing on the lower control arm. Turns out under all this dirt there was some good scrapes and bruises. Use a jack to push up the lower control arm till the holes match and you can get the bolts to go back in. Reattach the height sensor arm. Bolt the wheels back on, lower the car, and then torque the wheel bolts.
So it doesn't actually look that much different to me, but it is lower so far by 3/4 of an inch. I do expect it to settle more in the next couple of weeks, so I'll show you then. But thanks so much to my friend Ken for helping. I couldn't have done it without him. And thanks for watching. Just driving home after the springs are installed. Let's check out these corners.